Let me show you how you can get around Photoshop with just a few commands. First, I'll open two new blank projects with Ctrl-N. Their settings don't matter at this point. These are called Untitled 1 and Untitled 2, and that's because they're not yet saved anywhere on my drive. I'll place a rectangle on my canvas, but watch the tab as I'm doing it. Notice the title just changed to Untitled 1 at 100%, where 100% is my zoom level. And in parenthesis, we can see the layer's name. In this case, it's Rectangle 1. If I change its name to something else, that's going to be updated here. Let's write Test. And there you go, it instantly updated. Next to the layer name, we have the color mode and bit depth, which should be set at RGB and 8 bits. If we move to the other project, you'll notice the Layers panel has only one layer, the background. So as you move between these two tabs with the hotkey Ctrl-Tab, you can clearly identify each project. That's easy to understand, but let me complicate things. I'll detach both tabs and I'll float them around. Give me a minute while I set these up. Now it's more difficult to understand what's going on in my Layers panel. I can easily get confused, so here's what I suggest you do. Go to Window, Arrange, Consolidate all into tabs. Now we're back to normal, and this is how I suggest you work at all times. Once you're in a document, you may want to zoom in and out. To do that, just press Z for the zoom tool. Look in the top left and see your default. Mine is set on zooming in. I can tell that by seeing the plus symbol. Now if I click once, I'll zoom in. Easy. Check the bottom left to see your actual zoom level in percentages. I recommend you always come back to 100% because this way you won't get a distorted view. If you work 30 minutes at 300%, your perspective gets out of balance, so you should always come back to 100% to check your progress. How do you do that? First, my favourite, Ctrl-1. This is what I strongly suggest you use. Let's zoom in again, but this time I'll click and drag to the right. This does the same thing, but it's more precise this way. If you feel you've gone too deep, just drag to the left. Okay, now how can we get back to 100% easily? Simple, just double-click the zoom tool from the toolbox. That's the second option. Okay, one last thing about zooming. If we click whilst having the plus symbol active, we'll go in, right? But if we hold down Alt, or the Option key on a Mac, you'll see the cursor will change to the minus symbol. These are your major options regarding zooming in and out. What about if you want to go up, down, or side to side? Well, don't be tempted to use your arrow keys on the keyboard. Those won't work. The most basic way is to use these scroll bars. As you can see, I click and drag, but that's not what I call efficient. What I recommend instead is that you hold down the space bar. This transforms your cursor into a little hand. Now you can move freely in any direction with any speed. This is what I use in my workflow and I strongly recommend it. So again, hold down space, click and drag in any direction. If holding down the spacebar is an issue, you can go to the Tools panel and click on this hand icon. With that active, you can simply click and drag. Why is holding space better though? Because once you let go, you'll revert back to your initial tool. So let's say I'm painting with a brush, but I need to move around a bit. I can hold space, do exactly that, let go, and I'll still have my brush selected. This means less back and forth. I know it seems like we're saving a mere half second, but I promise you these little bits make all the difference down the road. So we've learned to arrange our tabs, to zoom in and out, and move freely. Let's continue with another few tips. If you press Tab, all the panels go away. What's the point? Less distractions. If that's not enough, and I don't think it is, you can press the F key to get into full screen mode. You have to press it twice, by the way. This makes it easy for you to observe everything on your canvas, especially if your work is fairly large and you don't have a humongous monitor. Even so, you might still not see things right because your project may be very big. Let's jump over into another tab to see that. As you can see, I'm at 25% initially, and now I'll go to 100% by pressing Ctrl-1. Now I can work on all the fine details. After I'm done, I need a fast way to see the entire thing. I'm already at 100%, and that's too close in because the document is very big. I could zoom out manually with the techniques I showed you, but I want an even faster way, and that's Ctrl-0. This makes the canvas fit my screen. It doesn't matter how big it is, this command will make sure you can see the entire canvas. Try it out on different tabs. So to recap, Ctrl 1 gives 100% all the time, Ctrl 0 fits the image to your screen. Okay, that's the beginning of what you need to know to move around freely in Photoshop. We'll learn more as we progress, so let's get to it.